Greetings to the conscious collective. Divine Rising, if you're seeing this, if you're with us live right now, thank you for joining in today's psychic practices and general chopping it up conversation. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to start with our remote viewing exercise as people come in and get themselves positioned. I opened up a little different today because I had a problem with the reading, but we're going to continue nonetheless. We have 3 numbers here. I place them in no particular order, and I ask that you observe or not predict, but actually try to see in your mind's eye where I have placed it. This is what we call our remote viewing exercise. Welcome, Divine Rising, to those that are joining us. I'm glad that you guys are here. Let's do a little cleansing as people come in and get settled. We're doing our remote viewing. There are 3 numbers. I placed that on number 3. Number 3. All right. Let me move it again. We got a lot to go over today. I hope you guys find it interesting and are engaged and awakened by our conversation. We placed that on number 2. In a few minutes, we will be changing from the crown to the actual kufis that I wear. I asked the collective to pick a color. I will draw it from the bag and we'll see how good you are at that in just a few minutes. This was placed on number 3. Thank you guys for being part of this practice. I'm glad you're here. On number 1. And number 2. So this is our remote viewing. Just choose where you think I placed the Palo Santo stick at, or Palo Santo wood. I don't know what you would call this. It's placed on number 2. It is Friday. We have a lot to go over. Thank you for being part of this. Just warming up a little bit. Number 1. Keep track on your own. You don't have to put it in the comments, right? Just keep track of your own on your own. And that's number 3. Number 2. Am I even placing it down? Number 1. We used to call this Freestyle Fridays, where we kind of clear out the mental information that's been gathering up. But I think every day is kind of like a freestyle lately as we move in our purpose and our mission here on this plane of existence. Welcome, welcome, welcome. No divine risings? No divine risings, huh? Nobody wants to greet me? You know what they say? To have friends, you have to show yourself friendly. A lot of times we don't have friends. It's because we're not friendly. We want friends, but we're not friendly presenting. We are not friendly front facing. We're doing our remote viewing. I'm placing this Palo Santo. I want to say incense. It's not incense though. On one of these numbers, and you are remote viewing where I'm placing it at. This is our first of 4 really practices that we do to awaken our psychic abilities. And there's a reason. If you hang around and you check out the video, you'll understand the whole process. A lot of times people try to come in and they try to just misunderstand everything that I'm trying to show because they're only getting a piece of it when it's a whole part, because we have such short attention span, which is by design. We have short attention spans that we don't get the whole piece of it. Divine rising, Nicole. I love it when you greet. I get a lot of people watching, but not many people say things. So it helps to have that connection. Thank you for joining me. We're doing our remote viewing. We got an interesting couple of hours I want to share with you guys. I enjoy sharing the morning with the Conscious Collective. You're my community. You are people who are on journeys and missions and trying to expand your consciousness. So I definitely am thankful for you. Three. All right. Do we have any more takers? Anyone wants to put in the chat which kufi I will be wearing? Put it in the chat. Nicole says gray and black. Are there any other predictions? I won't see it. I'll be going in there blind. I'm never really blind. I'm never really blind. It's just so funny to say that because I'm never really blind. That I'm blind. I'm never blind. That's 3. I see a lot of things. A lot of things. And so since we have no other people who want to share, who want to test their abilities, Nicole, I think that we will switch to the kufis right now. All right, so we have 2 kufis in here. I'm flipping them around. Of the 2 crowns that I have another crown, right? Which one you guys like better? This one seems a little bit more formal. This one's not as formal. Okay. Which one do you like better? The gray and black. I guess it would be the black and white and the gray and black. Correct. Correct. That is a good thing. Everyone gives Nicole her flowers as we switch. All right. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, or hot is the head that wears the crown. That crown, oh, that feels so much better. All right, all right, all right. I want to show you guys something really quickly. Let me see if I can bring it up before we begin our additional. Give me 1 second. And let's do it like this, if I can do it correctly. Of course, I did it wrong. Let me see. Did you guys see this?
Attacks were reported against Naharia and admitted. Further rocket attacks were reported against Naharia and admitted.
Let's see that again.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Naharia and admitted.
Look how close that is. Woo! Woo! That was, I don't know why that resonated with me. It's just kind of illustrated to me that how close danger can be. And they say in the service, danger close, danger close, danger close. That's crazy. That was crazy. So I just wanted to show that. I mean, they getting it in over there. This guy is like, I don't know. It just looked close to me. It looked really close.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Naharia and admitted.
Like he just ducked it. Oh man, that is crazy. Crazy work there. Crazy work. So, but I think it just makes it clear that a lot of things are going on. A lot of things are going on. And okay. We're gonna move on to our second practice. And then I have another video I want to share with the collective. I have another video I want to share with the conscious collective. So we got a lot of things I want to discuss today. But let's continue our practice. We're looking at our Zender cards, keep track of what colors and shapes. This is our precognition practices. I am so grateful everything is starting to come together. As everything starts to fall apart, everything is starting to come together. As everything starts to fall apart, everything is coming together. So we're looking at 5 shapes. Just as we get settled in, it's a star, green star. We have the yellow circle, the red plus, the wavy blue wavy lines, the black square, and the green star. And we're just looking at our shapes as we get settled in into our conversation today. It's green star again. That was a black square. Divine rising, divine rising. Wavy lines. I want you to see if you can predict the next color or card coming up. That is blue wavy lines. And that is a red plus. Blue wavy lines. Got very subtle energy out here today. Well, let's wake you up. Let's wake you up. Let's wake you up. So, as star seeds, light workers seems to be a concept that people have a general understanding of, that a lot of us consciousness does not come from here. That is a black square, that we come from different dimensions, maybe different galaxies. We come to do certain things. So I want to show you guys a video and maybe make it clear how some of us view our purpose and our mission here and why we're here. Let's do a couple more of these and I'll show the video. What exactly we're trying to do so that it becomes very, maybe it kind of blue wavy lines. It kind of illustrates what we're doing here. It is not that I am an alien from another place. I am natural born here, but my consciousness comes from another dimension. And I'm here to aid humanity in their growth. I am not the only one. I am not the only one. A lot of Gaians or dormant star seeds, they don't really grasp what we're doing. But I will show you a video that may help you grasp exactly the nature of what we're doing.
The fuck up. Like my soul came to earth at this specific time to wake up all 8 billion souls, to remind you of who the fuck you are. You are God in human form. Everything is God.
Her language is something, I've seen a couple of her videos, and her language sometimes is not something that, it's not my way of expressing things. Oh, well, do that. But besides that, she makes some good points.
God. Everything is God. The problem is that you have been so indoctrinated to believe that God, one, is a man, a he, a judge, ruler sitting on a throne in the sky, judging. That is a human characteristic. Y'all have given God the infinite, ultimate, unconditioned consciousness, human characteristics. God is not a larger version of humans. We are smaller versions of God. God is not outside of you. God is in, within, through.
So let's examine that really quick, that it's a bar. It's a bar. That God is not a larger version of us. Sometimes what we're trying to do here as awakened individuals is we're trying to give a clearer image, clearer picture of exactly who you are. It's a very difficult position to be in, to tell somebody who is convinced that they are nothing, that they are the most. It's not that like you trying to cheer a child on, like you can win, Johnny, you can win, Tamika, you can win. We're not trying to cheer you on. We're trying to awaken you to who you truly are, so you can go back to being who you are. It's like you put yourself in this amnesia state and you won't wake from it. And we need for you to wake up from this.
Permeating everything, including you. Everything is God in a physical vessel. God is consciousness experiencing itself through humans. You are God. I want you to create your heaven on earth. I want you to live your life of freedom. And the only way you're going to do that is by remembering who the fuck you are. You keep waiting on something outside of you to save you. Nothing's coming. Jesus' return's been delayed for damn centuries. Jesus is you. Jesus is the representation.
Let me stop that. Another bar. Let me bar. Another bar. Another bar. All right. Say that this imaginary figure or this being did come back, right? Did come back, right? How would it look? Would anybody believe it at this point? If Jesus returned, would anybody believe it? Would you think it's AI? Would you think it's a government conspiracy? What would you think? And if it did not come back as a representation of what your perception of God is, hopefully your representation of God is something that imagines that you are. But if it came back, say it came back as a Caucasian being, how disappointed would I be? I was like, damn, God is white. How disappointed. You think anyone would accept that? You think anyone would accept God? And what if it came back as an Asian man? You'd be like, nope, that's not God. That's not God. The actual premise of Christ coming back cannot happen because no one would believe it in that sense. That's not how Christ returns. Christ's consciousness returns in you doing the work. It returns in you learning love and connection and oneness with everyone. That's how it returns. It doesn't return embodied as something. You are the embodiment of it. It doesn't return out of body as something. Everybody would be disappointed. Everyone would be like, oh my God, oh my God. Just think about white Christians if Christ returned as an Arab man. They would not accept that. They would not accept that. They don't even accept the fact that Christ was Jewish. He wasn't a Christian. He was a Jew. If you can't accept what they portrayed Christ as, how are you going to accept what Christ returns as? That's why that's a whole fallacious lie. Christ doesn't return as an embodiment. It returns as a consciousness to you.
Of consciousness, the awakened consciousness, the remembering of your power. A man is not coming back from the sky to save you. You have the power to save you. God is already in you. You don't need an external event to save you. You just need to turn around, repent, turn your ass away from the world, remember who the fuck you are, and step into your power. Take responsibility. You motherfuckers want to blame every goddamn thing on everybody else outside of you. You are the only problem you will ever have, and you are the only solution. And until you claim your God power, you are going to be stuck in fear and stuck in hell on earth. You're not going to die and go to hell. You're living in hell right now.
No lies were told. No lies detected. She's a little aggressive with her deliverance, but I understand I understand her frustration. I understand. It is when you awaken to the truth is the truth. Whether it comes from someone cussing or aggravated, or it comes from me trying to be diplomatic, the truth is the truth. And yes, this is something I've always shared. And this is something that's shared by a lot of us who are trying to awaken the rest of us. And we are fighting against powers and principalities that continue to keep people asleep. If I say you are God, I'm immediately called a liar, because a lot of people are not ready for this, even though it's way beyond time to be ready for this. It's way beyond time that we understand the nature of what we call this reality. I thought she, and all her videos say the same thing, basically the same thing. She tries to awaken critical thinking, tries to show people the fallacies of their mistakes and how their reasoning is not exactly on point. But I don't know if people are just comfortable. I just don't. The only thing I take solace in, the only thing that helps me is that I continue to believe that this is not for everyone. I trust and believe that this is not for everyone. It doesn't take everyone to believe for us to affect a change. So I say I'm just trying to reach those that really understand, that are really committed to understanding, that are really supportive of what we're trying to do. Quickly, I want to thank everyone that is supporting the Conscious Collective. Hold on one second. Where is it at? I didn't load it up. Let me load it up really quickly. Let's go gallery. We have been creating images, and I want to thank everyone that has purchased one. They're a limited amount. They are one of a time creations of our conscious. More important than just purchasing the image, you guys are actually supporting the Conscious Collective community as we try to awaken humanity, to raise vibration. So I want to thank everyone that has been actually supporting that. This is the gallery. The link is in the description of everything we have been creating. We are going to create one later on today and add that to it. Some of them are very beautiful. All of them are very interesting, but they're getting more and more interesting. I ask right now that you kind of think of something that you want to add to the image. Close your mind, whatever you resonates with you, let me know, and I'll put it as a prompt. And then we are going to create it at the end of this, towards the end of what we're doing here. All right. Let's move on to our last practice, and then we'll have a conversation about some things. This is a read my mind practice where I have my all-seeing eye cards, And I ask the conscious collective to read my mind. We do these practices to awaken your abilities, to awaken your gift, to put you in alignment with your true self. This is the way I did. I choose to help the conscious collective. She choose to try to convince people. I think that may not be as productive because what people believe in their religion is what serves them. And they're not ready to let that go. No matter how much rational thinking you try to inject into their mind, that all those animals could not fit in one boat. God can do anything. All those animals could not fit in that boat. That's no way, no how. Not in our plane of existence of reality. But it serves people's need to deny their own responsibility and to awaken to their true self. Because we like to think that being divine is such that's the ultimate flex. I can do miracles. I can do this. I can do this. I can be in many places at once. I can do that. Being divine is about responsibility. That's the part that a lot of people miss. That when you recognize your divinity, you recognize your connection to source, you recognize your connection to God, that you are God, then comes the responsibility. It's not about the power. Everyone's fascinated with the power. Someone said yesterday in the chat, something about, we're gonna do all this for free. Money is not the motivator. You can do a lot of things to get money. Money is not the motivator. It is the responsibility that you feel towards one another, that you feel towards each other, that you feel towards yourself. And a lot of people don't understand that your true divinity, your true godhood comes from your accepting of responsibility. We come with a new way of trying to understand this journey here. And a lot of people find that very challenging. So I know what I say is not for everyone. It is not as toxic as some of the things I could do. If I wanted to draw eyeballs and draw views, it's a lot of things I could do. That people that satisfy their lower energy, find some enemy and some group of people, and let's just denigrate them for a while. Let's talk about women. Let's talk about how women are not doing this and that. Oh man, the views will be skyrocketing. Let's talk about the Jews. Let's talk about, the Caucasian. Oh man, the views will be crazy. But when I say let's examine ourselves and let's work on ourselves, I don't know, Baba. That don't really interest me. Let's raise our consciousness. I don't know, Baba. Can we just dog somebody out for a while? Can we do something hypersexual? I'm looking at a color. I'm looking at a word. I'm looking at a number. If you saw blue, 42, word release, a knife. The knife reminds me of cord cutting. We are energetic beings. We all are connected to each other energetically. Sometimes those connections can be toxic. So a lot of us understand the importance of cord cutting. I counsel someone who wanted to cut cords from a relationship. And they asked me before we went through the process, can we still be friends? Can me and this person still be friends once you cut the cord? And I'm like, you're not ready to let go. And so it won't even work because you are the intent. It is powered by you. Your faith has set you free. And if you don't want to do it, just symbolically cutting this cord with this knife is not going to do it. But once you're ready to let things go and you do a burning bowl or a cord cutting, you're released from those things. I can't fight against your own willpower. I'm looking at a color, a shape, a number, and a word. If you read my mind, you saw purple, you saw psychic, and the number 48. And this is the Versi Pisces, I think. I think this symbol is the Versi Pisces. Two circles. You know, what's curious about this is that it starts as a sacred symbol as a 0, a 1, a nothing. And then as it multiplies into two nothings, it creates what we would consider the symbol of the Yanni, the birth portal, and brings reality into existence. Just a little something to think about. I know a lot of things. It does. You're talking about cord cutting. It works if you want it to. I mean, the practice is just something that reinforces what you already want to happen. So you already have set the intent. And then when you do the practice, it gives that reinforcement of that intent. And it adds that little subtle energy to it that you amplify. The energy of the cord cutting, right, is a subtle energy, and your body amplifies it, and you find more relief in it. It's like your body can heal itself. Like whenever I'm feeling sick or something, I just need to rest because when I shut down the rest of my body can focus on what it needs to heal itself. Did you know that when you're overly fed and you get sleepy, it is actually your body shutting down so it can digest food. It can use all the resources to digest food. So when you're going through something, you need to release yourself from something. You set that intent. We do the cord cutting or the bowl burning. That's that subtle energy that comes in, and you amplify that energy. You alchemize that energy to use it to release yourself from that person. But if you don't want to do that, right, I can give you all the medicine in the world. If you don't take it, it don't work. Just something to think about. Something to think about. We're going to talk about the power that you guys have and how it works. Why I'm trying to figure out the best way to communicate it. So I have some points I want to make. I'm looking at a shape. I'm looking at a symbol. And the number 9. I said what I'm looking at, the number 9, because I'm thinking about something else. Sorry. It is the number 9. I don't know what this shape is, but the color is lilac green and the word is shift. I don't know what that shape is. Infinity squared. Divine rising to the conscious collective. How are we doing? How are you guys doing out there? Are you in alignment today? Are your gifts picking up? I'm looking at a color. I'm looking at a shape, a word, and a number. I'm asking you to read my mind and what I'm seeing. What am I seeing? Keep notes on your own. It was fire. It is a triangle, kind of an orange color, and the number is 27. So this next card is for the last card, and it's for whoever receives it. Whatever resonates with you, it is for you. It may be for me, but if it resonates with you, take it, use it. The last card is for you, knowledge. Number's 34. That's a 3 and a 4. It's a 7. There's a book. In all your learning, get understanding. In all your learning, get understanding. This is about knowledge today, which is a perfect segue into what I want to talk about. The knowledge of self, the knowledge of who you truly are is what I want to talk about. I want to awaken you to that knowledge. We talk a lot about Christ consciousness. I'm glad it resonated with you. We talk a lot about Christ consciousness. We talk a lot about the returning of Christ, not the returning of a Jesus, not the returning of a man, but the returning of a consciousness, of Christ consciousness. And we talk about the work that we do as light seed, as star seeds, as light workers, and what do our gifts mean, and how do our powers play into a lot of things, right? A lot of people, they always say, well, we're raising the consciousness of humanity, that we are working on awakening people. That is my purpose, to awaken people. I want to challenge you on that. That's not everyone's purpose. That's not everyone's purpose. In your actions, you may awaken people. You may give people something to think about, because they want to be like you. They want to walk in that space. But that's not everyone's purpose. Some of us are the voice of our shared experience to help people in their journey, right? Those that have mentored with me are still with me and have awakened to something that they're still discovering in themselves. Those that have not, who find the mentorship, oh, I can't afford it, I can't do this, right? They are pretty much still stuck where they're at. This is not to advocate working with me. This is to advocate investing in yourself. And those that have done it are been set on a path. They have been set on a path, okay, of their own journey. I started with them, and then they are on a path, and I walk with them as long as it resonates for them to walk with, for us to walk together. We all know the adage, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the teacher will disappear. So if I came into your presence, we talked earlier about intent, that as I try to heal people from their personal problems, if they are not open to it, it does not resonate. I cannot override your willpower. Just like if you come across me and it resonates with you, But if for some reason you cannot continue our journey together, because I give out as much as I can, but this is only a teaspoon. A teaspoon. I try to work closely with people in that journey as we discover their purpose and their mission. And so this is only a teaspoon of what we're doing right here. In the mentorship, we set them on the path of clearing the chakras and getting to that connection with their higher selves. And all of it is becoming very, very clear of who we are in this mission to raise humanity's consciousness. So I want to talk about the miracles of Christ consciousness. You may know them as the miracles of Jesus. And we're going to go through them really quickly. I first want to premise it with this idea. There's a statement in the Christian Bible, right? Greater things will you do. Greater things will you do. That seems like a very strange statement for somebody that we have elevated at the highest level of supernaturalness. As we learned about Jesus growing up, we understood that the person called Jesus did miracles, did the ultimate miracle of returning from the dead. So we like, wow, man, that is crazy. That's crazy work. But then this person makes the statement, greater things will you do. And you're like, what? How's that possible? Right? Well, you have to understand the concept of Christ consciousness. You have to look at the metaphor and you have to look at the parable and the spiritual teachings behind that. Right? When people say, oh man, I need that bag, I need that money, I need to get my cash flow right. I refer them to the statement, what I think is a very important statement in Christian teaching. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else will be added unto you. You're like, what does that even mean? Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else will be added unto you. So if we look up kingdom and we try to understand what kingdom is, kingdom's a place. Kingdom's a place. It's a state of consciousness, a state of mind, right? So if you raise your vibration and you seek higher consciousness, what we refer to as 5D, 5D, right? Where 3D operates in lack, scarcity operates in defensiveness, 5D operates in oneness, plentifulness, abundantness, love. So if you seek that first, you do the work. When we say seek, we mean do the work. Do the work. Raising your vibration, raising your conscience. All else comes and flows into you. See, a lot of us just want the reward without the work. We've been taught that we can get the reward without the work. You can't get anything without working for it, because that's the nature of this physical realm that we're in. So I want us to look at the greater things as we seek the higher state of being. As you seek your higher state of being, right? We're going to look at the miracles that Christ performed, being the example of seeking your higher state of being. Because you understand that Christ did a lot of work, fasting, learning, studying. They said that the missing years of Christ, that they involved that person traveling to foreign lands and learning a lot more about the state of being human. All right. So we're going to look at some of the things that were proposed, and I want to apply them to your own journey as you seek your higher self. Right? Are you guys with me? Let's look at the healing miracles. The healing of the leper, the healing of the centurion's servant, the healing of Peter's mother-in-law, the healing of the many sick and oppressed, the healing of the paralytic, some paralyzed guy lowered from the roof, the healing of the man with a withered hand. Can you imagine that? Hand all crooked and you touch it. You touch it. The healing of the woman with the issue of blood. I never knew what that meant. The healing of the two blind men. The healing of a mute man possessed by a demon. And we're going to clarify demons and all this other stuff. Healing a blind and muted demonic demon or whatever. Healing the invalid at the pool of Bethesda. Healing the man born blind. Healing a crippled woman bent over for 18 years. Healing a man with swelling. Healing 10 lepers. Healing the blind again. Healing another blind man. And this was a gradual healing. The man's sight started to come back slowly. And healing somebody's ear that was cut off. We see healing, 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 healing. We see healing, healing, healing as an example of the abilities and the gift of those that seek their higher consciousness, that accept their divinity. They become able to heal. We talked about the palm chakras. See, the thing is, everything has a mechanism. Something has to work for things to work. There's no, even if it's magical, there's a process. There's something that's going on. Nothing just happens without something going on. If the planets are revolving, we know there's gravity pulling them around. They're not just whipping around. There's forces in play. There's things going on. And as you develop your gift and your abilities, you have to understand that there are forces at play in you. We try to describe those forces as energy moving through your chakras, manifesting in your palm chakras, allowing you to heal, to touch people and to heal them. I'm trying to give you the mechanisms, the understanding of your gifts and your abilities, without just saying you will have the ability to heal. We're beyond just those blank answers. We need more understanding, clarity on how exactly it works. So one of the outcomes of you walking in your truth and your gift, a lot of you will be able to just heal. Now, someone made the statement yesterday that a lot of spiritual people will be able to control weather, or do control weather, or learning how to control weather. And that resonated because in a place, in a society that is gatekeeping a lot of technology, or is not able to respond to a lot of things happening, that's where we find our role at. That's where we find our abilities at. In being able to do things that they say are supernatural. And we're going to get to the weather in a minute as example by Christ consciousness. Remember, you are Christ. You are Christ consciousness returning. You are awakening to your true gifts and your true ability. I know it took us a while to get here, but we're here now, right? So healing being key. We can't just blankly leave it at, just healing people. I want to show you that by opening your palm chakras, the chakras that is most connected to the heart chakra, allows you the gift of healing. The love that you feel for another person will allow you the gift of healing. I hope that's clear. Let's look at the deliverance as part of Christ consciousness or Jesus gifts. All right. Deliverance, the casting out of demons. We like to personify things and say God is a human. And we looked at a little clip earlier and say that God is not a bigger version of us. We are a smaller version of it. Once we accept our consciousness and renounce our physical form and realize that we are energetic beings experiencing a physicality, we personify what we call demons, like a little monster. Demons are just negative programming. Can we write that down somewhere? Demons are just negatively programmed. If we understand that we are the ultimate in technology, that this is a matrix, a computer simulation. That's as far as our knowledge understands it now, right? First, we used to think things were like just magical and they just happen, and then we started to understand that maybe there's some meaning behind it. Maybe it operates a certain way, and then we kind of got this analogy that, oh, maybe it's a computer programming. So let's look at demons as just bad programming, because we evolved beings now. We understand a lot more. So when you understand that, because I want to just get it away from just being demons, but if you're comfortable with it, just understanding it as just some demon, okay, fine. All right. But as a enlightened individual, as someone who's gifted, as someone that has abilities, because you've been doing the work, you've been clearing your chakras, you've been healing yourself, you've been showing grace to you and others, you have been trying to expand your consciousness, you are open-minded, you're trying to be a good person. You awaken your gift in yourself of being able to cast out unclean spirits. Seems weird to talk of it like this because I don't see it as an entity. I see it as an energy. Casting out many demons, delivering these legions of demons from somebody. I can't pronounce these words. Delivering a demon from a woman's daughter. Delivering a boy with an unclean spirit. When you start to operate in your gift and your abilities, not only do you get healing through the palm chakras, right? You get the ability to rewrite people's programming, to remove the negativity from that person's energy. We do that generally by just walking into the space, and all that negativity flee from us when we walk in our divine selves. I worked with someone, or tried to work with them, about dealing with incubus and succubus spirits, energies. A lot of us have too much casual sex, way too much. And that can allow negative energy, demonic energy to be brought into our reality. That guy or that woman you met that has so much flavor, that really did it for you, gave it to you on the first night, man or woman, you don't know where they came from and you don't know where they went. You just know it was good to you, right? Could have been a succubus or incubus. Could have been a demon or negative energy that you allowed to implant in you that energy. I tried to work with this person because there are spells or rituals that will prevent that entity from coming into this plane of existence. So they got impregnated willingly by some somebody, something, or whatever. They just met. Never could track it down again. All of a sudden, person couldn't be found. Virtually didn't exist anymore, but they were pregnant. So I was like, let's just be on the safe side and let's, prevent whatever energy that's coming through with that child. Let's prevent it from coming into this plane of existence. So the process is to write the 7 names of God on the woman's belly, right? So that when she gives birth, they cannot cross that boundary. Okay. They went through that process, and hopefully the other part of that spell they were able to do that prevented that energy from coming through, that was implanted in them, or could have been implanted in them from some unknown entity. So you have to understand a lot of things, right? My consciousness and a lot of other consciousness come from other planes of existence, but there are energies already here, right, that operates in different kind of ways and norms to propagate themselves. So I'm trying not to give out too much information because I don't want people to get the wrong idea of I don't want people to get a little knowledge and run away with it. Okay. So hopefully I trust that it did work. But if the person continues that behavior, they're actually risking something like that happening again. There's a lot of reasons we shouldn't do things. Just because you can do something don't mean you should do something. And we live in a society we can do almost anything we want. But that doesn't mean we should be doing everything we want, because we don't understand a lot of things. We don't have that consciousness ability to really grasp the larger picture of what's happening. So a lot of times these spirits, they can lay dormant in a person. Came through when they were born, lay dormant in them. These energies can lay dormant. These programming, these negative programmings can lay dormant. And then when that person subjects themselves to alcohol or subjects themselves to some type of maybe they have some type of mental illness, that suppresses their consciousness. And then this other consciousness, this other energy comes up. You ever notice that when people who drink alcohol and they commit things and they say they blacked out? Do we ever think about what that means when it says you blacked out? You didn't lose consciousness. Your consciousness was suppressed. You were still acting. A lot of times people who get alcohol, their consciousness gets suppressed and this other energy comes forward. And they be asking, I did what? I said what? Everything you hear, everything you think is not always you. We definitely have to understand that. Everything that you hear in your head, everything that you think about is not always you. There are other energies and entities that can influence you, but they're separate from you. And sometimes we see people that have a lot of these entities and energies in them, and we call them schizophrenic. But when you walk into your gift, and you walk into your abilities, you're going to be able to release people from these negative energies, these negative, what you might call demonic spirits. I don't know if you want me to post that, but you bring up a good point. You bring up a good point. One is there's consequences to every action. There's consequences to every action. You may find yourself not wanting to do the right thing, and the universe will teach you lessons. It's always hard for me to explain that your higher self, if it has a need for you to do something and you keep resisting that need, like I don't want to always get up here and talk. I don't always want to reach out to people, to work with people. It's frustrating sometimes, but the universe has a way of bringing you back to reality, as they say. A lot of times, you keep doing what you want to do, and there's always consequences to your action. I wonder why these are always different colors. You are illustrating what the world is going through now, sister. You are illustrating what the world is going through now. We could go to 5D like that. We could go to higher consciousness like that. We can be in a better place like that. Go willingly, go happily. But we want to keep doing what we're doing. We want to keep doing what we're doing. And when you keep doing what you're doing, let me bring my guy back up. Make sure I got him on lock. There's my guy here. When you keep doing what you're doing, bring my guy back up. Hold on, let's bring my guy back up.
Attacks were reported against Nahariya and admitted.
Keep doing what you're doing. Oh, you're gonna act right. You're gonna act right. I want to learn how to just bring that clip of just push a button. All right, keep doing what you're doing. Let 3D keep 3D in. Let them think they're in control. Let them think that they know what they're doing. It just spirals lower and lower, lower and lower. And that happens in our own lives. You're doing bad, as I told this guy, you're doing bad because you're doing bad. You're doing bad because you're doing bad. Things aren't working out. You're trying to be rich in areas you're not meant to be rich in. You're trying to get ahead in places that you don't even need to be in. You're trying to succeed where there is no success there for you. So, as I was saying, not only your ability to heal will become prominent, your ability to remove negative energies, demonic spirits, will also be relevant. As we move through a more increasing negative world, our light, our ability to cast out, to push away that energy is going to be prominent. The government ain't got an answer for it. Prisons ain't got an answer for it. The church damn sure ain't got an answer for it. You are the answer. You working in your powers and your ability are the answers to the world's problems. Let's look at something that everyone tends to be fascinated by. The natural miracles of Jesus. Turning water into wine. As my man said, when it came to Christ and they said, Jesus, we're running out of water. He's like, I ain't usually supposed to do this, but y'all keep the party going. Remember D.L. Hughley said that, y'all keep the party going. All right. And touch that water, turn that water into wine. Being able to calm the storm, as someone spoke on yesterday, us enlightened beings, us higher consciousness being, will have the ability to calm storms. As the weather does what the weather does, as 3D transitions to 4D Earth, it'll be nice if someone could come in there into different communities, into different situations, and calm the storm. Greater things will you be able to do. Peace, be still. That's your gift. That's your ability. That's how you operate. Walking on water, we all know that. Walking on water. Appearing out of nowhere. Doing things that are not physically possible. That will be your gift. That will be your power. Feeding 5,000 people. You know what would be nice? You touch your gas tank, you know the meter says that light about to start blinking at you. Beep, 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 beep. Put some gas in me. And you touch your gas tank, and your car just rolls and rolls and rolls. You just multiply the gas in your tank miraculously, supernaturally. You done touch your gas tank, and you like, this car ain't gonna stop till I tell it to stop. I ain't put no gas in this car since I don't know when, because that's how I roll. That's the gift I have. Let me touch your gas tank. Now watch, somebody gonna start, you're gonna see a video of people touching people's gas tanks now. Let me heal your gas tank. All right. They're gonna be lining up around your block, Nicole. They'll be lining up around your block. Let Sister Nicole touch your gas tank, man. I'm telling you, she the real deal, baby. She the real deal. More practically, the feeding of 5,000 people. The feeding of 4,000 people. This is what we need. I'm telling you, you gotta pick up what I'm putting down. As these food prices, as people start to suffer, for you to step into that space and be able to feed people miraculously. Greater things will you be able to do. I'm gonna have to talk about this for a minute. I'm on fire, man. I'm telling you, I'm like, okay. I see where this is going. I see where this is going. I see the gifts now. I see how this works out. Catching a fish, just miraculously catching fish. This is the feeding and supporting of people that happens when you walk into your truth and your gifts and your abilities. You are able to support people supernaturally. It's catching a fish after resurrection. Something I didn't hear about. I've looked more into. Cursing a fig tree and it withers. Now, we only see this one time in the ministry of Christ. That cursing of the fig tree. A lot of times we don't operate in negative energy. You can if you want, because you have that ability, but your love for people actually gives you pause before you do that. Right now, we could curse anything we want. You have the power to affect anything, but most of the people I work with understand that they operate higher vibration of love, and they're loving people. But if you speak something out of your mouth, because you have this ability, this gift, you will be able to curse people if you decide to. There's a curse that I'll share with the collective. Doesn't seem to be many people in here, so let's share this. And you guys may have heard this, but when you speak it from the ability to do and accomplish things supernatural, it works. You said, ain't nothing going to ever go right by you till you do right by me. You guys have heard that before. Ain't nothing going to ever go right by you till you do right by me. That's as far I would go in that negative energy. Being able to cause people to reflect and think about the things they're doing. Finding a coin in the fish's mouth. These are natural miracles that you will be able to achieve. Right. Exactly. That is a powerful, powerful curse. It only works when you work in that energy. It only works when you're walking in that energy. And I think she was bringing it from a negative place, but you can also bring it from a positive place. Finding money in a fish's mouth. Being able to come up with money, get money miraculously. This is when you operate in your divinity, in your gift. Someone said the other day they wanted money. I said, for what? When people provide you transportation, when they provide you food, when they provide you boarding and sleep, the money is just the illusion. When you are operating in your gift and your ability, everything else comes to you miraculously. Everything else flows to you. You give no thought to that. Do you remember the monks that walked across Georgia a couple of weeks ago, a couple months ago? Anyone remember that? All their food, all their see monks, those type of monks, Buddhist monks, they live a life of they can only give what's given to them. All right. They live their whole life depending on the charity of people. When you're operating in your gift and your abilities, right, the charity of others will flow to you. You don't have to worry about your day-to-day need. All else will be added unto you. When you're walking in your gift and your abilities, all that flows unto you. Let's look at raising the dead, raising somebody's daughter, Jairus' daughter, raising the widowed son of a name, raising Lazarus. We only hear about raising Lazarus, but according to these scriptural teachings, Jesus raised about 3 more people besides himself. Again, you operating in your supernatural ability, being able to revive people. People they say are no longer able to animate this plane of resistance. You come in and all of a sudden you can revive them. That is the gift that is given to you when you walk in your purpose and your mission. Let's look at that third eye, that authority and knowledge. It is said that Christ, knowing people's thoughts, knowing the Samaritan woman's life details, predicting his own death and resurrection, predicting Peter's denial, directing disciples to find a donkey. Again, a manifestation of your gift, being able to read. We work in practices every day. See, this is the reason that we do our practices, so we can awaken our abilities and awaken our gifts. And I'm showing you the outcome of that. Not just so you can do little parlor tricks or amaze people or have people say, well, she can figure out anything. These abilities and gifts are given to you so you can work in your purpose and your mission. Your third eye opens so that you can know what people are thinking. You know people's life details. You know when people are lying. You can tell people what to find, what they need. So we know the ultimate miracle of being in your purpose and your gift, and that was the resurrection that Christ performed on himself. It's a symbolic thing. It's a symbolic thing, that resurrection. But my overall point is that when you operate in your truth, you operate in your alignment, a lot of things become part of who you are that people may consider supernatural. They may consider beyond it. And it goes beyond just us using them in our daily lives, but in the aspect of the work and the purpose that we're supposed to accomplish. Maybe that's a better way of explaining why we do what we do, why we do these spiritual practices, why we try to expand our consciousness, why we try to understand our purpose here. One second. It's all jammed up now. Let's do our last practice. If you guys can tell me what you're seeing, I will write a prompt for it and we'll generate today's conscious creation based on our input. I think, Nicole, you mentioned something yesterday that you wanted to, or someone mentioned something yesterday they wanted to add today. So, guys, let me know. You said it wanted to be a healing canvas, right? But what's the prompt we're working with? How does that look? What is the starting prompt? Close your eyes. If you guys want to put together a piece, let's close our eyes. I'm going to close my eyes and see what I come up with. Let's do plants and botanicals. Hold on one second. We don't have a lot of input today, so let me know if you have anything more I am going to create it. If you want to add anything, if anyone else wants to add anything to our canvas today. A creek. We are creating a canvas. As a collective, we come together, we put together ideas, and we generate an AI prompt, and then we create it, and it is offered for sale to help support our purpose and our mission. If you have something that you want to add, you see pebbles of water in a creek. If you have something you want to add to this image to help us create it, please do. We're almost done. Okay. Does anyone else want to add anything? We're wrapping up. All right, let's create it. Let's create it. Let's create it. Let's see what we get. All right, we'll let that roll for a little bit. But if you just joined us, please replay the video. We were talking about your gifts and your abilities as you step into your truth and your power that are going to enable you to complete your mission. We kind of copied as an example of someone that we assume worked in their higher states of their self, which was Christ consciousness. Some of you guys may know it as Jesus Christ. We refer to it as Christ consciousness, and that ability to tap into who you truly are, your divinity, your higher divinity self, and how you use that to work in this plane of existence, so that you can answer some of the problems and solutions that are being presented to us. Food scarcity, weather control, being able to remove negative energies. A lot of these things are becoming very problematic. And as we're able to affect them on 3D, we elevate people to a higher state of consciousness in 5D. So let's see what we came up. Right now, we're working on our conscious creation, where I asked the collective to add to the image, that we build an image out together, and let's see what we're getting. Where is it at? This is crazy. This is crazy. So today's image that we have worked on collectively, right, is this one. I'm going to pull it up. This is today's image. This image will be placed on our gallery. The link is in the description. Your purchase supports what we're trying to do here. And as a thank you, you're given a one-of-a-kind, a one-time image that we have put together collectively to help support what we're doing as a thank you for your. You can make any amount offer. I suggest it's a suggested at $11.11, but you can make any amount suggestion that you want, whatever you feel the value of it is to you. All right, for helping us in the work that we do. All right, I think that really captured exactly what we're trying to accomplish. So it'll be on the gallery as soon as I upload it, and it'll be available for you guys if you so choose to support the Conscious Collector. I want to thank everyone that has continued to support us and support what we're trying to do. I hope something said can help you in understanding why you're special and what you're supposed to be doing with that gift, or the gift of knowing you special. That's just the beginning. That's just the beginning of waking to that, oh, maybe I should be doing something, right? I want to take you to the next level of how that works with being able to solve some of the problems that we are encountering now in this plane of existence. So again, I am always thankful. Please thumbs up this video. Please like this video. I'm grateful for those that have participated, that have been a part of this conversation. I'm honored to be part of this community. I'm honored that you guys are being part of the community too. So again, thank you again. Thumbs up the video. Love and light, Nicole. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your engagement. So in closing, I want to wish everyone love, light, health, and wealth. You guys have a great day.